Yeah, certainly so. There was a big downpour the other day on Thursday when it wasn't forecast, but doesn't look...
Yeah, that's right. And I think, fantastic it was qualifying. OK, Hakim again on pole. New names, Beñat Fernandez and David Gonzalez, third and fourth fastest. Really anything can happen. But there is Hakim Danish. Not only is he in pole position, but of course he leads the championship chase.
And that is Spanish GP, though,
no,
as it says on the graphic. That's incorrect.
That's right. No, it wasn't. It was a collision apparently with Luca Agostinelli in practice. He's very much the favourite. He was frustrated, strangely enough, with that second place. He said...
True racer right there, isn't it? There is Beñat Fernandez, third position on the grid. Really good stuff from the rookie.
Yes, and there is Leo Ramasdorfer in the middle of the second row. He said he's actually a lot happier.
He did say, yeah, he's very, very happy with how his pace feels. And for Morelli, who's a real Sunday rider, front three rows is good enough for him. Here's a rundown then. Gliese then filling out the third row of the grid. Fourth row, the local hero, Guillaume Plonk is 18th. Then you have Tinez, Da Costa and Monignane down to 18th. Tassini back on the pace where we expected to be. So, good stuff from all the riders in quali. And, of course, we still went for the return from Lennox for Mara. We're wishing him well as well. And for the warm-up lap.
Yes, and, time to get along that penalty. And then he must take it within 3 laps. So, just when he chooses to take it is cool, calm and collected. So far, he was cool, calm and collected all the way through Herod. He's got a long lap penalty because he thought that Hakim and he could get away. 15 laps of Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup action coming up. And the lights go out of the way they go. Everybody seems to get rolling. Well, Hakim Danish on the number 13, the pole position man, has the advantage, but slotting in behind him is Brian Ariarte.
Yeah, it's all very ordered. One of the main big overtaking opportunities into the first lap, though. Brian goes for the lead. And then we have, Danish getting pushed
goodness
out
gracious
way
me, he's
wide.
gone.
We got riders down in the background. What's actually happening out the front, though, we're not sure, but it's some beautiful spectacle who crashed out then. So we had Tassini crashing out, unfortunately, and Luca Ramasdorfer. That puts him back into the top 10. Not a good start from Leo then, from 5th on the grid.
And Hakim Danish is back up into 2nd place already.
He's 4th on the grid. He has been pushed back a bit down into the pack. He's 7th at the moment.
Now, he should have been shown the long lap penalty board, and it should come up on his screen so he can take the long lap penalty on this lap. Let's see if he does so. That is the 11th of David Gonzalez.
They're neck and neck down now towards through turns 5 and down towards turn 6.
I think Morelli thought he was going to be higher up, didn't he? When he
I think he just changed his body position there, but it made me think he was crashing for a moment. Heart in mouth it was for me as we see Danish going into the long lap penalty. Now, he can't touch the green, otherwise he's failed to comply with it. He's got to do it all over again. But that looked to me like it was very squeaky clean.
Yeah,
Danish slots back
4.
into 5th then behind.
Served it well, and, he's going to be able to quickly cut through. He cut through from the beginning. He lost so many places in that first.
Out front, so he's got half a second in hand on the Spaniard. So let's see how quickly, if at all, he can catch up. But look at that, the Live Cup standings will put them all. 3 riders, all within 1.4 riders, within 10 points. Incomplete.
Right, good. Well, that's what we needed. We didn't want any. Le Mans start and finish straight. Still a huge packed grandstands here. They've all stayed to watch this incredible Rookies Cup action. The 24 of Guillaume Plonk. He
probably got a good 50, 60,000 people trackside watching, which is just absolutely cracking, isn't it? Probably the biggest stage of these young riders' lives as well.
Right, there comes the battle. Is the battle
there we
for
go.
Lead.
He's caught him. Danish has caught him. Will we see a kind of move down here into the lights of Garage where the long lap penalty is? No.
And both of these guys did these laps in qualifying on their own. Very much Hakim Danish. He just went round and round and round on his own. And he knows that if he...
They're probably quite comfortable just running with each other, aren't they? We'll see what their lap times are this time around, the final 2 corners. But Beñat Fernandez has moved his way to the front of that group. And he's brought Marco Morelli towards the front of it as well. So, he's almost at the front of that group. He's just behind Ramasdorfer.
Hakim Danish goes for the lead out of the slipstream and up the inside. He goes it, and will Brian have another go at him into the left? No, he doesn't think better of it. And Hakim Danish has the lead now. In practice, he was fastest in all 3 sessions on Friday. He did all that work alone, and he can run. He doesn't need a pacemaker. If he can get away from Brian, that's...
Second place, the first and second, and a 3rd and 4th. I mean, that is quite the gap already, isn't it? I mean, there's just clearly here, today at least, no one in the same class as...
Like Hakim was a bit wide there. Maybe he's pushing on too much, but he collected it okay. He didn't suffer very hard.
in that chasing pack. Then you've got Morelli leading the way now. So Fernandez has certainly helped them bring them 4/10 faster than Carter Thompson in front. So actually we could have quite a big battle for this podium finish there. We could well beat a red flag penalty for a shortcut at turn 9. I think he's towards the back of this group. How big is that one? It's all the way down to 17th.
It's now really Carter Thompson and Pugliese. They've got to work together here if they're going to stand any chance of keeping ahead of that enormous pack. They could find themselves suddenly out.
Thunder or lightning, it's all these Red Bull rookies cut riders battling for what could be many as a first podium.
And that's it. And that is still the 50 of Carter Thompson in third place.
They are catching Thompson and Pugliese.
They are, aren't they, Matt? Yes, there's the 95 of Marco. And B, their plan A is obviously, and up the inside comes Christian. And some of them are going up with no points at all. It's that big a group.
Yeah, absolutely cruel.
Ariarte is back in front. We didn't see Hakim Danish make a mistake, unless shows how hard Hakim Danish is pushing.
It's like a shark, he can smell a bit of blood in the water, can Brian Marl, and he really has. 4/10 of a second is the gap between Brian Ariarte and Hakim Danish. 4.5 really at this point, so things are going to get starting to get real frantic for Danish. Has managed to catch back onto the rear wheel of Brian Ariarte then. He's managed to calm down. Will Brian know that he's round his tail again? If he's smart as he should be, he's certainly going to assume so.
That's right. Now last time
we've had a red flag, Peter. Red flag, and we are over 2/3 distance. That could be a race result.
I think it will be the race result. That's, well, let's hope it's, obviously the main important thing is that nobody is seriously hurt.
Away,
well, that's right. You know, there's every chance that it's not that anybody's seriously hurt, fingers crossed, but it's just that there's a mess somewhere that needs sorting out. So, yeah, as you say, Matt, I think that's probably going...
Pugliese has a podium, so his first podium of the year, because he...
And that was deemed a red flag was the foot out and that sort of thing. So we can see somebody going off.
Oh, this is also why. This has happened many times over the weekend. So riders being stretchered away. We saw that many a times throughout practice. Moto E and Moto 3 had this quite a lot yesterday. It is of the circuit here. But of course, wishing the riders involved in that crash very well. Challenge,
isn't he?
So yeah, very, very good from Hakim Danish. That will not quite extend. Well, it will extend his lead technically over formerly second place Carter then, and it will be Danish and
Pugliese.
I guess
of Morelli and Gonzalez, the top 10. But we'll wait for the official results. But that, according to our timing screens, is what we. The crowd here in front of the grandstand, and I would imagine she's going to be doing that again this evening, and they absolutely love it. She is something. And there is the golden tyre, the golden Pirelli for Brian Ariarte, and of course he won race 2 here last year, and he's done it again. He's now run race 1.